Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching today's video. Today I wanted to sit down and test out a couple of new makeup products, so I thought I might as well do it on camera and chat with you guys and catch up. I've been trying to do more get ready with me's and videos where I apply makeup, and I feel like just a more casual style has been really fun just because I can sit down, chat with you guys, and test things out. So I did my base makeup and my brows off camera because I don't really have any new complexion products to test out. I'm mainly focusing on a new Colourpop collection. They just launched this one. There is an eyeshadow palette, matte bronzers, and lip glosses. And then I have a couple of other products as well. So I thought I would try them on camera for you guys. So this actually launches on Thursday, and they did send it to me in the mail as PR. I got it a little bit early this time, so I thought I might as well film a video in case you're considering it. So this is interesting. I got some tags on this on Instagram because it's something a little bit different for Colourpop. It is a mainly neutral palette, but you also get a lot of pops of green, a few pops of pink. Let me actually swatch this for you guys in case you're interested in checking it out because I did get it ahead of time, so I think this video will go up before it actually launches. At first, the color story kind of threw me off, but the more I looked at it, the more I thought it was really fun for the summertime. You get a lot of warm tones, some lighter peachy shades. You definitely get some more orangey red tones, and then, like I said, a bunch of pops of green, which I think are a little bit different. This kind of gives me like Urban Decay wild green vibes, but maybe a little bit less red toned and more neutrals. Like the neutrals are true browns and golden shades with just a few of those orangey reds, and Wild Greens has more of those. And then you don't get a ton of green shadow in here, but I think you get enough if you're someone who tends to wear a lot of neutrals and you just like green once in a while. So I don't know what to do for today's look. Honestly, I feel like you could go a lot of different ways. I definitely want to use some of the greens because I feel like that's probably the most interesting part about this palette, and then I'll probably use some of the neutrals as well. Maybe I'll do like a neutral and green look on top, and then more of like a warm toned red look on the bottom. So I'm going to start with this shade Slick, and I'm going to blend this in the crease as a transition color. So I'll list all of the brushes that I use in the description box below in case you guys are interested in knowing. I always use a very random assortment of brushes. Some of them are available, some have been discontinued, so I'll list all of them in the description box. But I'll just start with this shade. I did already prime my eyes and then set everything into place with a matte shadow. This shade is very light, very soft. I definitely want to do something a little bit more colorful. I just have some time to sit down and play with makeup. The baby is sleeping. He's been taking very long naps because he hasn't been sleeping that well at night. And this morning, Brady and him just went and ran errands, so I feel like he'll be sleeping for a while. They went on the hunt for formula. It is such a crazy time right now. If you guys have a baby and you're looking for formula, I feel for you because we really cannot find it anywhere. We have the most luck at this local grocery store. There's a grocery store near us that I think older people tend to shop at more often, and because of that, I don't think as many people are going there for formula. So every once in a while, we'll find it there. I'm going to do everything on this eye and then do the other eye off camera just to save some time. Next, I'm going to take the shade Open, which is just a little bit deeper and a little bit warmer. At first, I was going to stick with like cooler tone shades, but I think I'll actually incorporate some warm tones, and I'm just going to blend that into the crease. But I have to say, we've been really lucky. We haven't been to the point where we've been like absolutely desperate. I have all of my family looking for it. We also have Brady's family who live in another state looking for it. We've been able to find it, and I feel like, you know, there are people who haven't been able to find their formula at all. But it's just a little bit stressful. It's always in the back of my mind, and I just feel like randomly during the week, I'm like, we need to go look for it. So whenever we have like a little bit of time, once a week, we usually just run to like 10 different stores. And today, Brady was able to find enough for like 5 days. Like I said, I really can't complain too much because we've been able to find enough and we're doing okay. I think I'm going to go in with the shade Hot Take. I feel like this is one of those shades that might not blend that well, but I'm going to see. I'm just going to start in the inner corner and then blend it into the crease. Anyway, if you are going through this as well, I hope you can find it. If you know someone that's going through it and you're trying to help find it for them, like a family member, like I said, I've had really good luck at like our local grocery stores. That seems to be the best place. This color is blending out really well. I wasn't sure if it was going to because it's kind of like one of those grayed out green shades, and sometimes those look a little bit patchy on the eyes, but this one doesn't look patchy. I'm really impressed by the blendability. The only thing that I feel like this palette is maybe missing is just a couple of like matte greens. I feel like some brighter matte greens would be nice. There is this one bright lime green, but I feel like just some like mid-toned greens would be nice to have. What do you think of the color story with this palette? I feel like warm-toned palettes with pops of green are very, very trendy right now. You know how back in, what year was that? It was a while ago when they did like warm-toned palettes with pops of blue. I feel like pops of green are the new thing. I'm just going to go back in with that shade Open, and I'm just going to blend that into the crease to add a little more warmth. I feel like this color story is almost like a little bit out of my what am I trying to say? Out of my comfort zone, because I wouldn't normally combine like warm tones and greens, but I feel like it could be fun. We'll see. Maybe I'll get done with this and I'll be like, what is that? But I feel like I just miss sitting down and playing with makeup and trying something different, because I don't do that a lot these days. I mean, I play with makeup a lot because it is my job to test and review makeup, but I feel like I don't necessarily step out of my comfort zone a lot, especially with color, because I'm always just trying to like throw something on and, you know, test out the products. So I'll do like a go-to look, or I'll do a color combination that I know works well instead of trying something different. And I feel like that's okay, but I just miss having fun with it. And it is my goal this summer just to kind of play with color again, because I miss it. I feel like after 2020, I lost a little bit of my desire to be creative with makeup. I still love makeup, don't get me wrong. I think it is so much fun. I love testing out new products. Lately, I've been really excited about blush and lip products, but I miss the days when I used to play with colorful eyeshadow. So I'm getting back to it this year. Okay, as for the greens, there are a couple of really pretty colors. I hope this is showing up accurately on camera. I'll definitely do a close-up shot for you guys with swatches. I'm kind of thinking about this color, but I'm also thinking about this color. This one has like a really pretty shift. I might go in with this shade and then add a little bit of this one on top. So let me start with this shade Genuine, which is just like a nice shimmering green. And I'm just going to apply that all over the lid. It's very, very soft. Actually, all of the shadows that I've used so far have applied really nicely. I guess I don't really expect that they won't from Colourpop, because typically their formula is pretty consistent, but I find that with the mega palettes especially, they usually do perform really, really well. Sometimes Colourpop will do palettes with like different layouts, and I feel like that's when sometimes the shadows can be just a little bit different, but not this palette. This palette seems really good so far. This is a really soft shadow. I'm just going to go in and blend out the edges a little bit and then apply it to the other side as well. I feel like I need a little bit more of a pop. Like that's a really pretty soft green, but I want something just like a little more interesting. So let me just apply this to the other eye and then I'll go in with another color. I think I'm going to take the shade No Doubt. This one looks a little bit different. It kind of has like a green to almost like red shift. And I'm just going to layer this on top. It's a little bit more vibrant than the shade I just applied. And on the eyes, I don't think you can really see the red shift, but I like that it's just a little bit brighter. I am getting a little bit of fallout because these shadows are super soft, so maybe I should have done my eyes first, but I'll just go in and clean it up afterwards. Just going to go back in with the brush that I used with that darker green and just kind of blend the outer corner, the edges a little bit more. I'm just going to apply some winged liner and I'll be right back. So I just used the Urban Decay Perversion liquid liner. I really like how the look is turning out. It's definitely a softer green look. It's not too intense. There are, I guess I could have used this shade. I don't know why I completely overlooked this one. There's this really bright, vibrant green down here. That would have been pretty too. And then there is this really bright lime green over here. This used to be my favorite color. I remember when I was in 6th grade, I had a winter coat, like a big puffy winter coat, that exact color. And I loved it so much before I got to like junior high and started to be self-conscious about what I was wearing. I wore it all the time. So for the lower lash line, I think I'm going to stick with warmer tones. I'm going to start, I kind of want to do like a super warm toned lower lash line just to try something a little bit different. So I think I'll start with this shade and then go in with a little bit of this shade. I just want to tap off any excess because I don't want to make a mess. I'm just going to blend this deeper orangey shade on the lower lash line first. I feel like I need more of a fluffy pencil brush. This one's from Profusion. You guys, Profusion brushes are so good. If you haven't tried them, I think they retail for like between $3 and $5. The face brushes are a little bit more. And then they have eye brushes too, but I recently purchased additional ones, like the ones that I use over and over, because I just love them so much. I don't know if I'm loving this orange and green combo. Maybe I should have gone like really warm toned on the top and then did a pop of green on the bottom. Let me tone it down a little bit. I'm going to go in with that shade Open, which is the color that I placed in my crease. It's a little bit more of like a true warm brown. I feel like that will still add the warmth without being too orangey. For the waterline, I'm going to take the Colourpop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Dirty Talk, which is a really beautiful, just intense metallic gold. And I feel like this will just kind of tie things together. For the inner corner, I'm going to take a little bit of this shade Freak, which is, ooh, a very bright gold. This is really pretty. Oh my gosh, I think that would be so nice all over the lid. The metallics in this palette feel extra smooth, really creamy. They're not quite as intense as maybe like the Super Shock shadows, but they're so soft. That's pretty much it. I'm just going to take a little bit of this shade Literally Me, and I'm just going to run that on my brow bone. It's like a very soft, light, almost vanilla shade with like a hint of shimmer. I think it's a matte shadow with shimmer in it. I might do false lashes just to switch it up and make it a little bit more dramatic. I got a new style that I kind of want to try out. So before I decide, I am going to use this mascara from Essence. I used it one other time. It is the Double Trouble Mascara. So this brush actually has two different sides. It has a curved side, and then it also has more of a flat side. So you're supposed to be able to use them both to define your lashes and also add volume. I'm going to start with the curved side first. The first time I used this, honestly, I wasn't blown away by it. I really like the Essence Lash Princess mascaras, and I haven't had a ton of luck with their other mascaras, even though they do have so many options. I just feel like nothing quite compares to the Lash Princess mascaras. Those do such a good job. They're $5, and I don't know, they have a ton of options. Like, obviously, I haven't tried all of them, but I thought I would try this one. They also did release a waterproof version at the exact same time, which I think is kind of nice. I'm going to flip the wand over and use this side just to add a little bit of length. I personally am not big into waterproof mascara, but I know for some people that's all they wear. So I think it was just nice to see them both released at the same time. I just don't think this is really doing anything for my lashes. I have a double-sided mascara from the brand Kjaer Weis, which is amazing, and that one comes in recyclable packaging. So I think that one works, and I thought maybe this would be a less expensive alternative, but it just doesn't really do much for my lashes. They look fine, but they look a little bit more natural than what I prefer. This is what my lashes look like after 2 coats, but essentially 4 coats because I went in with both brushes twice, and they just don't really look that great. I will say they are separated and they are lifted. So if you're looking for a mascara that does that, that just kind of defines the lashes, separates them, lifts them, then you might like this one. I want them to be a little bit more dramatic and a little bit longer. Like, you can't really see them. I don't have great lashes to begin with, so I need something that's going to add a ton of volume. So I'm really not sold on this one. I'm still going to apply it to the other eye because I think I will go in with false lashes. So let me do the other eye and then I'll be right back. You know what? I can't find the new lashes that I got. I got these lashes that were really dramatic that I was excited to wear, but that's okay. I'm just going to go with these. These are the Ardell Naked Lashes. They are the number 421s. So I normally wear the Ardell Demi Wispies, but these are just like a little bit longer, a little more fluttery, so they are more dramatic than what I normally wear. I don't do a ton of false lashes these days, but every once in a while I feel like they are fun. So I just got these little lash applicators, or this little lash applicator from Ulta. So it's supposed to assist you at applying your lashes. I usually use tweezers, but then I feel like I ruin my good tweezers. How should I do it? Probably this way. So I'm just going to pinch the lashes between the applicator, and then I use the Velour lash glue. I have the dark one, and I love this because if I am going to apply lashes, this just makes the entire process really simple. So I just apply the lash glue to the lashes. I usually focus a little bit more on the ends, and then I let it dry for like 45 seconds. And when I apply them, it's nice because this lash glue doesn't move around. It usually just kind of drops into place and stays there. That's the key to false lashes for me. Let the glue dry for a little while before you stick them on, because if the glue is still really wet, they're going to move around, the ends are going to lift, and then they just take forever to apply. So I've had it's been drying for like 45 minutes. I haven't used these yet, but oh wow, they are nice because you can just set it right down on the lash line and they're not sharp on the ends. That has been my issue. I feel like with tweezers, they're so sharp on the ends, I always feel like I'm gonna poke my eye. These are definitely longer than the Demi Wispies, but I like them because they're just not overly dramatic. They're long and fluttery, but they're not super intense right along the base. So I don't feel like they look too heavy. I don't like my eyelashes to be too heavy these days. I usually just like something like soft and fluffy because I don't generally want it to cover up my eye look. And honestly, usually when I'm wearing false lashes, I'm not putting a lot of effort into my eyeshadow, and a lot of the time I'll even skip eyeliner, especially with these Ardell lashes because they have, I think, what they call like an invisiband. So the band isn't super thick, and when you apply these without eyeliner, they actually look not fully natural because they're pretty long and fluffy, but you know how sometimes if lashes have a really thick band and you're not wearing eyeliner, they don't blend well onto your eye. They just kind of look like they're sitting there. That's just not the case with these. That took me maybe 3 minutes, so super quick, really easy. So I definitely recommend trying this glue if you haven't already. And if you like this style of lashes, they're super affordable for a pack of 5. So I wanted to test out the new bronzers from Colourpop. I think it's been a little while since they've released bronzers. These are a matte bronzer formula. I've actually been using this compact throughout the video. I wish they came in different packaging. I really don't like this super large plastic packaging. First of all, it is just kind of big. I mean, it's thin, so it doesn't take up a ton of space that way, but I have such a hard time opening this. So they use this packaging for their Super Shock highlighters, and more recently they've used this packaging for their powders, but it's smaller. Like, this is a very large compact compared to the powders. I think I will be one of these 2 shades. I think these are the 2 lightest shades. Let me swatch them for you side by side. I'll label them too. One is more cool toned, one is more warm toned. I think I'm going to go with the cooler toned one today, just because I haven't really been into like a super intense warm toned bronzer. This one is Avila Beach, and I'm just going to be using this e.l.f. brush. So the Colourpop powder is my go-to lately. It's super smooth, it applies really nicely. This definitely looks to be a powdery formula. Like, you can see the powder all on the outside of packaging. I don't know that there's ever been a Colourpop bronzer that I've absolutely loved. So I don't know how this compares to their other bronzers because I can't really remember the last time they did bronzers. Usually Colourpop's powder cheek products are not my favorite. I just find them to be pretty powdery, a little bit more dry on the skin. I definitely prefer their Super Shocks. Okay, this is really soft, so I just added a good amount more to the brush because it is coming off a little bit subtle on the cheeks. So I would say it is more of a buildable formula. It's going on nicely, especially for a super matte bronzer. I do think it looks nice though. It looks really smooth on the skin. Like, it's not a super intense bronzer, and obviously you can go with a darker shade. And like I said, it is a little bit more of a buildable formula because at first it wasn't really showing up on my skin, but I tend to prefer more of a subtle bronzer overall and just let my blush be the standout product these days. I was actually just thinking the other day that their pressed powder formula, like the Pretty Fresh pressed powders, would make a really nice bronzer because they are so smooth. And this feels close. I think I'll stop there. I think it looks really good on the skin. Honestly, I'm so picky about bronzers. There are like 100 different blush formulas I like, but when it comes to bronzers, I feel like some of them just look so chalky on my skin, especially matte bronzers. But this looks very smooth. It went on really easily. Like I said, it is more of a powdery formula, but it's like a thin, buildable formula. So when I did really load up the brush, I felt like it went on better. For the cheeks, I'm just going to use the Bare Minerals Blonzer in the shade Kiss of Copper. I can't stop using this. It's pretty intense, pretty warm toned, but you guys, it is so pretty on the cheeks. I actually ended up ordering Kiss of Pink because I've been wearing this one so much. It just gives your skin like the most beautiful sun-kissed look. But I just got a blush from Walmart. This is from Milani. It's in the shade Sunset Passione. I do feel like they're kind of similar. Here's the Milani one. Here's the Bare Minerals one. If you don't want to spend the money on the Bare Minerals blush, the Milani one is a good alternative. It's almost a little bit more pink toned, which I think could be more flattering depending on what you go for or your skin tone, but this formula looks really good on the skin too. I just love a good glowy blush these days. I cannot get enough. I just did a video recently on my favorite glowy blushes. If you guys want to check it out, I'll link it below. For the lips, Colourpop did release a bunch of new So Glassy lip glosses as part of the collection. I really like this formula. I got a couple of shimmer glosses from a previous collection, but I don't think I've tried any cream formulas. So I'm excited to wear these. I think I'm going to go with this lip combo. This is new to me. It is the NYX Line Loud Lip Pencil, and I have the shade Gold Crusher. I haven't tried these yet, but I picked up a few of them because, you guys, there are so many good, affordable lip liners. You honestly don't have to spend a lot of money on a lip liner. So let me apply this one. I think based on swatching it, it feels like it's going to be really smooth, just very creamy, which is what I like. But I also like for my lip liners to dry down so they actually lock your lipstick into place. So we'll see. I actually love this color. It's a little bit lighter than I thought it was going to be, but I feel like this will be so ideal for a lot of the lip colors that I end up wearing. I tend to wear very light nudes. I don't usually go too intense with my lip colors these days, and it feels like a really nice formula. So I'll keep you posted. I'm planning on doing like a big reviews roundup video. I have a video coming on like all of my Sephora purchases, and then I'm planning on doing another drugstore one. It's just taking me a while to fully test everything out. So let me swatch the different lip gloss colors for you. Like I said, I have tried this formula. It's very smooth on the lips. It's not a sticky formula, but it's a little bit longer lasting than other formulas that I've tried. A lot of lip gloss formulas these days are very thin. They're almost like lip oil lip gloss hybrids, so they wear off kind of quickly, which I don't usually mind because I'll just reapply them, but this is a little bit thicker, so I find that it's longer lasting. And again, it's not sticky, but compared to more of like a lip oil type of texture, you might find it to be a little bit more on the thicker, almost sticky side. The shade that I'm going to wear today is Newport. So let me just apply this. And oh, I feel like it's a perfect match with this lip liner. I really like this applicator too. It's a little bit on the smaller side. A lot of lip products have such big applicators these days, so I find that I just tend to make a little bit of a mess when I'm applying them. I really like that color. I think that this combo is like a perfect match if you're looking for an affordable lip combination. This is more of a glossy gloss. I mean, they're called So Glassy. I will say the ones that have shimmer in them look a little bit more glossy because they reflect the light a little bit more intensely. But I do like this formula. I think it's really nice. I'm just going to finish things off with a little bit of highlighter. I'm just using the Becca highlighter in Champagne Pop, which is nothing new. It's one of my favorites. I'm just going to apply that to the cheeks. Okay, guys, this is the final look. So I really like the products that I tested out. I think that this eyeshadow palette is a really fun option for summertime. There is a chance that you have very similar colors within your collection, but if you're someone who likes neutrals with a few pops of color, this could definitely be a fun palette. I mean, I was able to get a more toned down green look like I have going on today, but I think you could do something a little bit more intense if you were to use like these lime green colors. And then of course you get like staple neutrals. This gold is really nice. I'm excited to try that one, just kind of mixed with some of these browns. So I do think it's fun. It's something a little bit different for Colourpop. The bronzer definitely went on nicely. I have to say the formula feels really nice. I don't have any complaints about it other than the fact that the large packaging isn't my personal favorite, but I will say the formula looks good. It looks really smooth, and sometimes matte bronzers can look a little bit patchy, but that doesn't seem to be the case with this one. And then I have tried the lip gloss formula, but I have to say the creams are nice. I don't always want like a super shimmery gloss, so I feel like the different nude tones are nice to have. I like the colors they did for this collection because you get a range of nudes. They are more on the sheer side, so you're not going to get like super intense color payoff with them, but I do think that you could always wear a lip liner or a lipstick underneath. So I'm a fan of this collection. Like I said, it launches on Thursday. I'll get this video up before Thursday, so if you are curious about it, I'll link it below. I do have an affiliate code with Colourpop. It's just my name, Andrea. If you do use that code, I make a small commission, so you don't have to use it if that makes you uncomfortable, but if you do want to save a little bit of money, you can definitely use that. And I think that's all that I wanted to share with you in today's video. So thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys very soon with a new one. Bye.